my YouTube channel. My name is Tia. I am a 24-year-old wife and mom of two precious little ones. Hudson, he is a 14-month-old, and little Lainey, who is asleep. She is only 3 weeks old. And my family and I live in the Twin Cities in Minnesota. My goal for this channel is just to be real and authentic and just talk about life. I am a young mom. I love plants. I love thrifting. I love talking about mom things and just life. Video number one is something that before I had kids, I looked into. I was doing my research on of how much does it actually cost to have a baby? Like, what do I actually need to buy? And what is just the marketing advertisement world trying to get me to buy? So that's what we're going to talk about today. I have a couple things that I personally think are essential, that were essential for me for both of my son, who's a toddler, and for my daughter, who we are in the newborn stage right now. And so I was thinking through, what do I actually use on a daily basis and what could I live without? First product, I will put a picture on the screen. That is the Snuggle Me. I am obsessed with the Snuggle Me. Yes, it is around $100, but I think it is so worth it to be able to have this big pillow with this indent for your baby to be able to just lay in. If you need to lay them on the couch, if you need to lay it on the bed, and obviously newborns aren't rolling around, but it just gives you a little bit more peace of mind, and it makes them feel snuggled because they're used to being inside of you, feeling all snug, and then all of a sudden they're out in the real world and just laying flat on something, like they're going to feel like they need to move and aren't going to be as comfortable. So that Snuggle Me is essential. You can get really cute covers for it. And again, those aren't essential, but the Snuggle Me in itself, I use pretty much all day, every day for my newborn. When I am not holding them, that is pretty much where they are. And it is amazing. The next thing that I think is super crucial is the Frida Nose Sucker. Take the saline snot spray, you shoot it up your baby's nose, which they absolutely hate, but that kind of loosens everything, and you put this tube up their nose and you actually suck their boogers out. It sounds completely nasty, but there is no way for the boogers to get into your mouth. There's a little blocker, and it does wonders. The next two things on my list, I will insert a picture. They're just a little bit too big and bulky to bring in this room, are my activity mat and activity play gym. Now, when my baby is not in the Snuggle Me, is not being held, is not nursing, babies start to get to that time where they need some tummy time, they need a little bit of play time, whatever that looks like for a 3-week-old. And in some sort of activity gym, I found mine on Facebook Marketplace, and activity mat from Marshall's. So it doesn't have to be that expensive or anything crazy, but somewhere for your baby to lay to start to do that tummy time, to start to be able to look around and touch something, I think is important. Now, this is my essentials that I think for newborns specifically. I guess you don't need it for a newborn, but I have started to use it now that once she hit like 2.5 weeks, I started laying her down on there, and I think it's a really good way to start getting closer to some of those, practicing rolling and tummy time, all of that. The next item are footy pajamas. Now, not just any footy pajamas. You will be gifted 1,000,001 footy pajamas at a baby shower, but a crucial thing for your footy pajamas is that they are zippered. We don't need to do a million snaps at 2 a.m. when we're changing their diaper. A zipper. And not only one zipper, but a 2-way zipper. Because then, when you are doing diaper changes at any time in the night, you don't need to fully undress them to change their diaper and get them all cold and get them all, now I'm awake. You just need to zip up a few inches from the bottom, pull their little legs out, change the diaper, zip it the few inches back down, and you are good to go. And something to wrap your baby in. We are currently using the swaddle sack from Halo. This is so easy. Your baby goes in this little sack, you zip it, and then you just put the 2 layers over it. It Velcros. Boom, your baby is good. They feel tight still, and it keeps them warm. The last product I'm going to talk about that I think is essential is some type of bassinet, or in this example, a Moses basket. Now, I also found this on Facebook Marketplace because these things are so expensive. But they not only are so beautiful looking, but she is so convenient. My daughter lays in this at night. It has a little stand that rocks slightly. I can, if my son and I are playing outside, I just pick it up and bring her with me. She doesn't even have to know we're changing locations. She can stay asleep if she's asleep, and it's so convenient. It's beautiful. Bassinets are so big, so clunky, so just kind of awkward that it's like, okay, my baby can only be in this at night because this thing I can't travel with me. This I can put in the stand, I can have it out of the stand, I can carry it outside, I can carry it inside. We went to my parents up at the lake last weekend. We brought this with us so that she could sleep in this at night. And all around convenient. Now, there are a few products I would like to mention that I personally do not think are needed, and preface, as a newborn. Some of these, and I will go through each one, but some of these I do think are needed as a child gets older, but specifically this video being geared towards newborns, I don't think are necessary. The first one is a changing table. Now you might think, where the heck do you change their diapers? I have a basket or a changing mat that I put on top of our dresser. We don't need this whole big clunky changing station that's separate from a dresser, that's separate from a bookcase, that's separate from a crib. Their nursery is gonna be cluttered with all these various things. I have a little changing basket that I put right on top of the dresser, and then I use the top dresser drawer or a cute basket on top, and that's where I store all the diapers and the wipes. Then I don't need a separate changing station, whole table thing, and a dresser, but 2 in 1. Next thing is a nursing pillow. I got the Boppy nursing pillow for my son, and I would use it, but to me it felt more awkward. Now there are nursing pillows out there that are a lot more expensive that I have heard people rave about, that are amazing, that they swear by. But I'm not about to go spend all of that on a nursing pillow. I'd rather spend that on clothes or something like that for the baby. And so for me, just using a normal pillow works just fine. And I've heard that from multiple people too. I think for first-time moms especially, they think, oh, well, I'm going to need help nursing. I'm going to need a pillow. I'm going to need support. Well, I understand that, but know that you truly don't need it. You can use a regular pillow and that can work just as good or even better. The next 2 things go hand in hand for things you don't need for your newborn. That are blackout blinds and a sound machine. Now, my son uses a sound machine now. He is a toddler, and it's great, but I don't think newborns need sound machines, and I don't think they need blackout blinds. My son has never had blackout blinds. He's 14 months old, sleeps 12 hours straight at night without waking up. Like, he does not need blackout blinds. And the thing is, if you train your baby to need a sound machine, to need a dark room, to need all these specific things in order for them to take a good nap or to sleep at night, then you are going to come and have some hard years as that child gets older. So when Lainey, my daughter, sleeps, she sleeps, the lights are on, we're talking, we might have the TV on, we might have music playing, we might be outside, we might be inside. Like, I don't change all these things in order for her to sleep. And I think that's one of the things that made it so that my son sleeps so good at night, because he learned from a young age what it was like to sleep through different conditions. So he doesn't need the room to be pitch black. He doesn't need sound on. Now, as they get older, I think the sound machine is really important. I actually do have one for my daughter. I just don't use it yet. I think it is important. Just, we live in not a humongous house. All Our living room is right on the other side of the wall as my son's room and right down the hall from my daughter's room. And so I think it is helpful if you have the TV on, you're talking, to not feel like you have to whisper in order for your toddler or your child to get good sleep, to have that kind of that white noise. But as a newborn, I don't think it's essential. And the last item I would like to talk about today that I don't think you need for your newborn is very generic, it's very broad, but that's toys. Your newborn sleeps a lot, they eat a lot, they poop a lot, you're changing their clothes a lot because of that poop. They don't really play with toys. My 3-week-old daughter right now will occasionally lay on her activity mat, will kind of start to wiggle her arm and accidentally hit one of the dangly things. And I put one little thing with some black and white pictures or a mirror for her to look at, but that's to the extent. They are not playing with toys yet. As they get closer to the end of that newborn stage, more towards that 8 weeks or even older, yes, that's going to be important to have some sort of something for them to play with, but as a newborn, they don't really need toys. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Now, I did not talk about a stroller, a car seat, diapers, wipes, clothes, all of those things. Those things are essential too, don't get me wrong, but those are the essentials that everyone knows about. The ones that I mentioned today are ones that might be a little bit controversial, things that from experience of having 2 kids currently in that newborn phase for a second time right now, I think are necessary. And the few that I think you could save the money on and not purchase. Maybe put that money towards your child's college fund or buy them some more cute clothes or something like that. Or just save it. Go on a date night with your husband. How about do that? Use that money to hire a babysitter and go on a date night. Have a good night out with your husband. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will be posting on here regularly. I would love to know what other moms, other young moms are interested in hearing about and seeing. And thanks for watching. I will talk to you later.